So it looks like with the success of Venom, rumors have it that maybe Sony is going to be taking Spider-Man back from Marvel. Okay guys, so this is a rumor I've been hearing for the past week or so, and I think this has a lot of merit because with the success of Venom at the box office, making over $200 million domestically, that's not even counting the worldwide box office, now rumors are saying that once the deal between Sony and Marvel Studios is done, that Sony is not going to let Marvel Studios continue to use Spider-Man. And I think this makes a lot of sense. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm just telling you, if you're Sony, this makes sense because you basically gave Marvel, you signed this deal for Marvel because fans weren't happy with Amazing Spider-Man. They weren't happy with Spider-Man 3. They weren't happy with how Amazing Spider-Man 2 turned out. So at this point, Sony was running the character into the ground in a lot of fans' eyes. So they signed this deal to let Marvel Studios have the character, use them in their MCU, and then Marvel Studios would then help them make their standalone movies, but Sony would be the distributor of the Spider-Man films. Well, now with Sony going ahead and doing this Spider-Man-less universe, having movies like Venom as the first standalone film, and then other movies like the Black Cat Silver Sable movie, Kraven the Hunter, the Morbius movie on its way, with Venom being very much successful, even when people like me and other people said there's no way this movie is going to make the money that it did, it wasn't very well critically known. Like, the movie didn't do very well critically, but it did make a buttload of money. So now, like, all the balls went back to Sony's court. And now Sony can really deal, like, look, why should we give you Spider-Man? We're doing fine. Let us take our character back, and then we incorporate Spider-Man into the Venom movies. And let's not forget, it was just a couple months ago we found out Venom was going to be PG-13 because Sony wanted to incorporate Spider-Man in the Venom series. So this actually makes a lot of sense. Again, I'm not saying this is the best ideal thing for Sony to do. I don't. I think it's stupid. I would love to see Spider-Man stay with Marvel, but at the end of the day, Sony owns those copyrights. And I believe at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming 2, which is Spider-Man Far From Home, I believe the rights go back to Sony, and then they can issue another deal if they choose to, but they don't have to. They can choose to do it themselves at that point. So, and then what happens? Do they reboot Spider-Man again? Do we get a fourth reboot now? So there's a lot of different things going on here. I think if Sony is smart, they would let MCU continue to use Spider-Man. I personally not a big fan of Spider-Man Homecoming. Gonna be honest with you. That's not the version of the live-action films I actually like. I do much prefer the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man films and the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films over Spider-Man Homecoming. Just didn't feel like Spider-Man for me. But that's the best thing. Everybody has their own version of Spider-Man in which they like. Needless to say, the movie still made money, and I don't think it would be a smart thing for Sony to take those back. Those copyrights back, to take the character back to them. But they did make money with Venom. They're going to want to incorporate Spider-Man into that universe. So if you're Sony, you're kind of, it kind of looks like the right thing to do. So it's a pickle no matter how you swing it. What do you guys think? Do you think Sony should keep the rights, let Marvel continue with the character? It's a real sticky situation, but I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms, and that's my opinion.